Hello gentlemen, welcome back. Got a little bit something new. Should be done by now, it is done. The updates. Been aiming to pull the trigger on it, haven't done so. That's right, that's the Ultra. No affiliation, and I bought the tool just to be clear on that. This is the latest EV version of it. Anyway, I don't claim to know anything about this. I looked at a couple of videos. Maybe I'll figure out how to use it, maybe not. So, I got to check engine light on this vehicle right here and see if that tool is what some people claim it is. Like I said, this is a Subaru. Standalone diagnostics. I don't even know that I got everything connected correctly, to tell you the truth. As a North American shoot. We'll see what is available on this here. That we don't necessarily know what's available. Well, the topography we don't have on this one. Make sure I got the key on. The vehicle also here for ball joints, the lower ball joints, so we'll pop them in here in just a minute. I just want to briefly go through the tool. If you don't want to watch, tell you right now, move on, go someplace else. There's going to be a longer video. Either deal with it or move on, go someplace else. I don't want to hear the bitching and the whining that people do. I'm going to label this video lower ball joints on a 2010 Outback, but like I said, we're going to go through here and look at this tool and see what we can do with it, because I do have a check engine light. I'd like to know what it's all about. I'm going to let that finish, pause you up. Apparently we have us a little quick guide here, so we can, supposedly we can do intelligent diagnostics. It's kind of like a trimming, feels like a trimming of a snap-on. We'll see. I don't know anything about it. That's a 2.5 liter, that is correct, that is what it is. Please select function items on the left for diagnostics, okay? I would say we're going to start with trouble codes, right? We have a shortcut to get to the OBD2 system. Post catalyst fuel trim system 2 lean bank 1. Now, this is the old Wankel. That actually has a bank 1 and a bank 2. It is a 4-cylinder, but it does have both banks. So, I don't see us having a lot of options here with this one. There was a big hype about this tool. I want to see what we can do here. EGR valve control, okay, special functions. Manual oil reset. This is not, really not giving me a whole lot here to go with. Remote expert, what is that? Nah, you don't want to do that. I don't even know what that is. So apparently the intelligent diagnostics has already failed us on this vehicle. So it's non-existing, so right back to square one. And well, and nothing, and really there we are. So now that scan tool is huge. I kind of like it. Blind people are really going to like this, so, but I'm going to switch over though. I'm gonna tell you straight up, this is not a I'm better than you, you're better than me. All right. So I'm gonna compare these two because as you well know, I got the Zeus Plus sitting over here as well. Size-wise, the Autel wins, I think, because it is a bigger tablet. Color, I clearly like better on the Snap-on. The intensity, that is. And this is just a comparison, so for all you Snap-on users or Autel users, you know, I don't care. The Snap-on, right from the beginning, it already pulled our VIN number in here. I didn't do anything. So let's do a code scan with it, and it took terrible long time on the Autel. Huh, that's curious. Okay, there it is. There, at first it says 0. Okay, that's why it's reading it. Okay, so it's going to take a long time. Obviously, the computer in the car is that slow. So let's go ahead and pause you back up. One more time for the people that don't hear good. I paid for both of these. I like both. Well, I don't know if I like the Autel yet, but I like my Snap-on. I really do like it. That's why I bought another one. We'll just see. We'll just compare. So that Snap-on is done. Apparently it only read the modules that were fitted, whereas the Autel went through a list of 32. So, well, shoot. I shouldn't have paused the camera. That was a stupid thing to do. Alright, so back to the codes page right here. Like you see, it spits out the same code on this one. Here we're going to the intelligent diagnostics that Snap-on provides for us. Well, they actually provide it, whereas the Autel left us hanging high and dry on that one. But anyway, here is a chart which I don't care for. Here is a chart where most people have replaced the oxygen sensor, okay? So I'm not going to replace the oxygen sensor until I know the engine is not leaking somewhere, doesn't have a leak. I'm not accustomed to working on these here, but I definitely want to make sure that there's not going to be any leaks that would trigger that code. Functional tests and reset procedures, I don't know. Okay, here we get a analogy. Replace oxygen sensor. Customer stated the check engine light is on. Connect to the scan tool, found the blah blah blah. Plus got tool in the back one. Off idle. Use the scan tool to monitor live data and found the oxygen sensor B1S2 signal parameter was not present. Alright, so that's just one explanation. So we're going to look. We obviously going to look at the oxygen sensor as well, but that's really not what I'm here for. This was more or less supposed to be a comparison between the two tools. Maybe I don't know how to use this tool properly, but I don't see any relevant information that popped up in here to get me started on that. So anyhow, here we have a little bit of information. Whatever good it is, I don't know. Like I said, I don't care. We'll go through some checks as well. I mean, this place here, by just a couple of paragraphs that I read, they done it correctly. I mean, there's nothing wrong with what they did. But anyway, I'm gonna pause you up. I'm gonna set this thing up to do the ball joints. That's what I really wanted to film in the first place. So, like I said, don't get you knickers in a twist or anything like that. This is just a small comparison between one and the other. There's no, this is better, this is worse. You know, that's not what this is about. This, ladies and gentlemen, that may be a rip-off special. What I mean by that, somebody removed the dash, or at least the odometer part of it, and put black tape behind the glass over the check engine light. It was done clever. It was done clean. I almost didn't notice it, but what happened is the glue got hot, and over time it must have slid down, so the owner noticed the check engine light was on. But I got a sneaking idea the check engine light had been on for a long time. So just figured I'd throw that in there. All right, obviously, step one, remove your wheels. They don't have to be gone. Step two, take off cotter pin. both sides. Step 3, remove nut. On both sides. Boots are clipped, both boots are broken, so it gets both sides replaced. Don't ask no questions on that. The boot to fix the ball joint right there, good Lord, I couldn't spit it out. To fix the ball joint costs almost as much as the ball joint itself, so in case you're wondering. Curiosity, huh? Not working on AGM. $14. Remove both of the bolts. Arguably, I know I often say it don't do nothing, but in some cases it does do something. Not a sponsor. Well, let's see if that'll come apart. Now, pause you up for just a second. About to run out of juice. So, yep, you can see the magic happen here. One man shop. You know, you got to do what you got to do sometimes. If you want to know what I did here, I'll show you. There's a pad I welded to my jack stand right there. The jack stand is turned up against the frame, and then I hook my chain fall over here, hook it on the side, and pull down, and that normally loosens everything that I ever want to loosen. Got to be careful with that, so because you do have a stabilizer bar or stabilizer link, whatever, and we don't want to damage none of that, so kind of have to be careful. Pause you back up. Normally it's not a problem. I had to put my slide handle on here. It was not cooperating. It's pulling out a bunch of rust out with it, so normally that's not the issue. Of course, we'll have to clean that. Battery's about to go empty. I hope you can see that. Once you get past the rust, this one will actually fall in now that we did all that, you know, expanded it a little bit and all that good stuff. So, let me get us tightened up a little bit. Good Lord. All right, we want to hold this up against this body. Torque this thing to spec. $45 foot-pounds. I'll hook my chain back up. Oh, darling. Why are you so tight? The brakes are set pretty good. We'll do it the other way. We'll do it that way. Alright, get this out the way. Pull down a little. I hope I'm not in your way. If so, well, nothing I can do about it. So we're just about there. We'll angle this over. And by the way, this is nice and tight now. And that's the whole point of it. You know, it's got to be nice and tight. Downside on these little cheaper chain hoists, they don't work as good as a more expensive one, obviously. Get this out of here. Get ready to go on the other side. I'm only going to show you this one side. The other one I'm not going to show you. That's why I'm going to go ahead and finish this now. So anyway, got in here pretty good. Take our castle nut. Yeah, I misplaced that cotter pin. Alright, so let me pause you up since my noggin is in the way. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell you, do not go gorilla on this. That's the worst thing you can do. If you ever have to do this job again, you're going to kick yourself. So, that's properly installed. This one is good and tight now. Nothing loose, and the ball inside is nice and tight, and we got us a good boot that is not leaking any grease out of it anymore. So this is perfectly acceptable. And I'm going to turn the camera off right there. I am thinking, however, I'm going to bring you all along on trying to figure out what's wrong with this vehicle, because it got my curiosity up now in the first place. So we'll turn the camera back on. We'll get the other side done. So we'll go from there. Until then, you just have to wait. I'm going to show you this. For one, green crusties, this is off. They got a multi-connector here, and that thing is corroded on the inside. It's got all these connectors here. Yeah, they're greased. I mean, they're not that bad, but it's definitely got some corrosion in there. I don't know whose bright idea it was to do that, but you know, the connector seems to sit okay, but it definitely ain't locking in either. Well, that just fell apart. So I don't know. Sorry about the camera. I mean, that seems to hold fine, you know, but I don't know that I would want to leave it like that. I'm gonna go ahead and fix this one for courtesy, because I don't want it leaving the shop having a ground strap like that hanging off the chassis. So I'm gonna go ahead and fix it. Since you like to hear me talk, I'm gonna do it whatever. So a lot of you guys watch the video. Remember, you are the DIY guys, you know, do-it-yourselfers, and it's different for a shop that does this kind of work. You know, a lot of times these shops, they're better off if they don't call the customer with it, because in my experience, and that's my experience, a lot of times the customers, they think you're trying to upsell them something. You know, mechanics have got a bad name, bad reputation in the first place. You know, a lot of times the customer just thinks that you want to upsell them something. You know, so the question is going to be, are you actually going to tell the customer about it? You know, fix it right, or leave it there for it to mess up and worry about it later. You know, that's a fine line there. The ground strap, I'm going to fix it. Okay, I'm not going to charge you for it. I'm just going to fix it, the damn thing, and we'll call it a day. But as far as the plug-in, I'm not going to do nothing with it, because it's going to take some time for me to strip all the wires back, crimp them into a bigger eyelet, put it on the frame. I'm not going to do all that. Just on account of what I just said, you know, it takes time. I'm gonna have to call the customer and explain to them why I want to fix it, and odds are they're gonna tell me, well, it was working. So just throw that in there.